Over the low barnacled elephant-colored rocks come the first tide ripples, moving almost without sound toward me. Running along the narrow furrows of the shore, the rows of dead clam shells, then a runnel behind me, creeping closer, alive with tiny striped fish and young crabs climbing in and out of the water. No sound from the bay, no violence, even the gulls quiet on the far rocks, silent in the deepening light, their cat mewing over, their child whimpering. At last one long undulant ripple, blue-black from where I am sitting, makes almost a wave over a barrier of small stones, slapping lightly against a sunken log. I dabble my toes in the brackish foam sliding forward, then retire to a rock higher up on the cliffside. The wind slackens, light as a moth fanning a stone, a twilight wind, light as a child's breath, turning not a leaf, not a ripple. The dew revives on the beach grass. The salt-soaked wood of a fire crackles. A fish raven turns on its perch, a dead tree in the river mouth, its wings catching a last glint of the reflected sunlight. The self persists like a dying star, in sleep afraid. Death's face rises afresh among the shy beasts, the deer at the salt lick, the doe with its sloped shoulders loping across the highway, the young snake poised in green leaves, waiting for its fly, the hummingbird whirring from quince blossom to morning glory. With these I would be. And with water, the waves coming forward without cessation, the waves altered by sandbars, beds of kelp, miscellaneous driftwood, topped by crosswinds, tugged at by sinuous undercurrents, the tide rustling in, sliding between the ridges of stone, the tongues of water creeping in quietly. In this hour, in this first heaven of knowing, the flesh takes on the pure poise of the spirit, acquires for a time the sandpiper's insouciance, the hummingbird's surety, the kingfisher's cunning. I shift on my rock and I think of the first trembling of a Michigan brook in April, over a lip of stone, the tiny rivulet, and that wrist-thick cascade tumbling from a cleft rock, its spray holding a double rainbow in early morning, small enough to be taken in, embraced by two arms, or the Tittabawassee in the time between winter and spring, when the ice melts along the edges in early afternoon, and the mid-channel begins cracking and heaving from the pressure beneath, the ice piling high against the iron-bound spiles, gleaming, freezing hard again, creaking at midnight. And I long for the blast of dynamite, the sudden sucking roar as the culvert loosens its debris of branches and sticks, welter of tin cans, pails, old bird nests, a child's shoe, riding a log, as the piled ice breaks away from the battered spiles, and the whole river begins to move forward, its bridges shaking. Now in this waning of light, I rock with the motion of morning. In the cradle of all that is, I'm lulled into half-sleep by the lapping of water, cries of the sandpiper. Water's my will and my way, and the spirit runs intermittently in and out of the small waves, runs with the intrepid shorebirds. How graceful the small before danger! In the first of the moon, all's a scattering, a shining.